Okay, so yesterday I went ahead and started my next anime project, which is Licorice, not Licorice, but Lycoris Recoil or Lico Rico. I watched the first three episodes. Overall, early impressions are pretty positive. Number one, so I guess like what it's about. A licorice is an orphan. I don't know if they specifically said that they're all girls, but I don't think I've seen any guys who are licorices. Licori? I'm not sure what the plural of that is. Maybe it is just licorice is a single and plural like moose. Anyways, essentially orphan kids who are raised as to be on the one hand, I want to say like secret agents, but essentially they're just there to be assassins. It's like, yeah, it's like we as Japan take a lot of pride in our image as this clean, crime free country. And the reason we're so crime free is because we send out these teenage girls to stop crime before it happens. Or it's like, as it is happening, what did they say at the first episode? It's like erase, delete, destroy, or some shit. And then you just have scenes of like teenage girls taking people to the side and just killing them with silenced pistols. One of the first scenes is a girl just grabs a minigun and just starts fucking shit up like she fucks up a weapons deal. Um, I think the actual like fight choreography is pretty good. I think the music, especially in the fight scenes, is also pretty good. The show has a buddy cop feel. Our two protagonists, you've got Takina and Chisato. Takina is the girl that did the thing with the minigun. A comrade's life was in danger, so she essentially put an end to the situation, which put that comrade still in further danger, but ultimately did save her life. But she killed some people that they wanted to take alive, so like, cool, you're now a problem, so you're getting transferred. And she gets transferred and is now working with Chisato, who is, the way she's described is essentially, she is one of the best licorice we have ever had, but she's very bratty. She's a very friendly character, like always like super joking, having a good time, very laissez-faire. No, that's not the word I wanted. That means hands off. I meant to say like very fuck. I had a term and I completely forgot what it was. Like just very relaxed. There are Bomb. What are you doing? Are you okay, Bomb? Oh, well, now my cat is just nibbling on my hand. I think he's doing just fine. That's his classic maneuver. But she goes to work with Chisato, and she's like, "Hey, cool! I have a new friend. I have a new companion. Welcome to Tokyo. This is what we do. You've got HQ. I think they call them DA. I don't remember if they said what that stands for. But it's like they have like all the high profile shit, the super important stuff. What we do out here is we take jobs and we just kind of help people. It's like we do deliveries, we run a cafe, like we help teach kids things at different schools. We like help with stocking cases, all that kind of shit. And as she's describing, I'm thinking to myself, wait a second. So you're not exactly a police force, but some kind of peacekeeping organization that specifically, instead of handling like the big incidents, does a lot of more minor things to help out with the community. And one of the girls is like, I'm transferred here and I don't want to be here. This is kind of where they send all the people that they don't care about. And I just want to get out of here. This is reminding me a lot of the special support section in the early parts of Trails from Zero. Like almost Ellie specifically. I'm like, I wasn't expected to be reminded of that. But okay, like I for the most part really like the SSS, so I'll take it. This has not been confirmed in this show, at least not these first three episodes. But I believe Chisato has clairvoyance, because whenever she's in a fight, she is always expertly dodging bullets. And like people will shoot and then she's just bobbing and weaving, ducking with no problem, just a smile on her face, doesn't give a shit, and is, whoever she's fighting, beating the shit out of them, making them look like fools. And there's a point where, I don't remember if this was in episode 1 or episode 2, where I was like, okay, this is just a thing. I think she's psychic. I think she can see into the future a little bit, and that's why she can do what she can do. And in episode 3, they try to explain it as like, yeah, she just has like incredible intuition. Like when she sees a gun, by just like looking at where the gun is pointing and the make and model of the gun, she has really good intuition about where the bullets are gonna go. And that's why she's super badass. But man, is she not annoying. And I'm like, yeah. Here's the thing though. There's a scene where she's playing a game that I think is supposed to like test her response time, where it's like a light is going to go off and you touch that light, and then another one goes off and you touch that light, and you see one of her, a fellow Lycoris, doing it, and like her response time is pretty good. Chisato's is insane, just like almost like as soon as the light comes on, or almost even before the light comes on, she's touching it. I'm like, okay, this is because you have psychic powers and you can tell which one is about to go on and you're using it to your advantage. I'm really looking forward to when we get to that aspect of the show. Not that what I'm watching is like bad or mediocre or anything. I'm having a pretty good time. I'm going to put a big pin in the wall because there's something I really want to talk about. But like, I'm having a good time with it. But I can tell that it's like, okay, we're going to get to superpowers at some point. When are we getting to superpowers? And what other kind of powers are we going to deal with? Because that's going to be pretty fun. She also never kills people. Like, whenever she is fighting, she uses rubber bullets. And it seems to be less of a, like, yeah, like, I think killing is wrong. Or it's always important to take someone alive because they could have information. It's like, I smell a backstory. That maybe you were too reckless and someone you really cared about got killed. Or you've just seen a lot of death, and so you don't want to put that on anyone else, which, you know, it's good shit. But I'm looking forward to seeing, like, what exactly is it that makes you tick, and how does your power work? Let me take the pen out of the wall. So, in episode 3, Chisato and Takina go back to HQ. They go to DA. And Takina's like, cool, can I be reinstated now? Because I've been doing really good over there. And then the head honcho's like, no, that was never in the cards. You're there. It's not just like you're there temporary. It's like you're there because you fucked up. That's how it works. And then the new girl that's replacing her is like, I replaced you. Ha ha ha. And it's just being a real bitch about it. And Takina's former partner is also being a total bitch about it. And then Chisato's like, come on, let's have a duel. Like me and my homegirl versus you two assholes. And let's see what the fuck happens. And then Takina's like, if it's not going to be reinstated, I don't care. But Chisato eventually is like, okay, if you're not going to do it, I'm still going to do it, and hopefully you join up. So Chisato is dueling those two girls and just kicking their asses again, making them look like fools. And they get to the point where they realize she's toying with us, A, like because she can, and 2, she's buying time until Takina comes back. And that almost makes it more infuriating. And then there's a point when Takina does come back where in episode 1, when she did the minigun thing, her former partner punched her in the face. It was like, you put someone else in danger and you disobeyed orders. So Takina wears like a thing on her, like a patch on her face, like to help with the swelling for the first few episodes. So when she gets into the fight, she's like, hey, the girl turns around, decks her, just fucking clocks her right in the face, pulls her gun out, and then glocks her several times, like with paintball rounds. And I saw it, and I was like, she got clocked and glocked. The clock and glock. And I just love that. It's like, I don't know. The next time I see something or play something where I have the opportunity to bring up the clock and glock. But it was wonderful. Also, I didn't really say anything about the second episode where the whole thing is an escort mission for a hacker. And then they fail the mission. The hacker gets like brutally killed. And then at the end of the episode, it's all like, oh no, that was all a ruse. The hacker, the person you were escorting, like physically, that was in this suit, was one of your own people wearing a bulletproof suit that specifically was like designed so if it got shot, blood would just spurt out everywhere. Like, that was really cool. I liked that a lot. And the luggage they were carrying around carried the actual hacker because it's a little girl. So the fact that you were using the luggage as a shield was a really bad idea. It was definitely a thing where it's like, as it was happening, I was like, okay, do I really think that they failed the mission? I don't know. there's a chance, which would be really cool. But even as the episode was going, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm fully buying what they're showing me. But I like that. I like that I feel like this is a show where I'm maybe not supposed to take everything at face value, and I'm glad I didn't. And the potential either way is really interesting. On the one hand, it's you did succeed in your mission, so now we have we have another member of the cast that we can do shit with. It's always good to have a hacker in the party. Shout out for Tava. On the other hand, if you failed the mission, it shows that our characters are not invincible and they are not infallible, which is also important. So I'm like, all right, I feel like there's pros to both versions. Ultimately, what we went with, cool shit, and then episode 3 was the clock and clock, and it was fantastic. Is there anything else I feel like I really want to say? Oh, I do want to bring up, there's a scene where Chisato is talking to Takina about, it's like, yeah, I mean, you weren't able to get back in, but, excuse me, it's okay. You still saved a friend's life, and that friend, her name is Erica, really wants to talk to Takina and essentially be like, thank you for fucking saving my life, but is having some difficulty, like, overcoming her shyness and the awkwardness of the situation, and we'll see how that plays out. But Chisato's like, hey, that might have happened. You might have gotten transferred away from DA, but you got to meet me. You got to meet the other people who work in the cafe, and, it's all okay. And as she was talking, all I could think of was essentially what she's telling her is move forward, gain 2. Like, this feels like some Witch for Mercury shit, and I'm really down for it. Also, I am watching it dubbed. The voice of the main antagonist, who is like an arms dealer, because that seems to be the main thing, is like there's arms deals going around. His English voice is the voice, I know him as the voice of Rufus Albarea from Trails. Also, he's the English voice of Kira from JoJo. I love this dude's voice. Like, he manages to sound like so slimy and so smarmy. Like, you talk about people having punchable faces. This guy has like a punchable voice, and I love it. He does a great job. He's also the voice of Valimar from Trails, and I'm like, that's 2 very different kinds of characters. But early prognosis for the first 3 episodes is quite good. I'm not at a point where I'm like, dude, I love this. I can't wait to watch more. I'm definitely looking forward to watching more, but I'm not like, this is incredible. But I'm liking it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where it goes. Hopefully it just keeps getting better.